So Trump's number one. I guess we're gonna take it to the next story. Who's number two?
This chick.
Nikki Haley.
Nikki Haley
said the dumbest thing you can say this week. First of all, you can't be the president with your name Nikki. Nobody's gonna say President Nikki.
President Nikki?
I don't think that's gonna happen, bro. I could be wrong, but it's something about it just don't roll off the tongue like, you know what I mean? Like it's just different though. But we would have said the same thing about Barack Obama.
Yeah, President.
Barack Obama. But Nikki Haley found herself in some issues this week because she was asked a question at a town hall meeting, and I do think the guy who asked her the question was...
You know what he was doing.
He was playing. Because the question ain't got nothing to do with politics in 2023. And I think he probably seen her answer that question before. And he knew she doesn't mention...
And I thought like she knew what he was trying to do before she answered it. But she still was like... She
walked right into it. I seen something like... Well, for everyone who doesn't know the audience, she basically was asked, what was
the cause of the Civil War?
Thank you, Ambassador.
Thank you.
Please, what was the cause of the United States Civil War?
Well, don't come with an easy question or anything. I mean, I think the cause of the Civil War was basically how government was going to run, the freedoms and what people could and couldn't do.
Thank you. And in the year 2023, it's astonishing to me that you answer that question without mentioning the word slavery.
What do you want me to say about slavery?
Those about states' rights and... What do you want me to say about slavery?
Oh, Lord.
I seen something where they were like, they don't let her answer questions like that. Like, they were like, they know who they're going to pick their questions from, and they kind of got a pre-planned, and they don't really let her get into like an open question response. But it was like, some shit like she was running late that day. It was bad weather. She had got in there, and then it was kind of like off the cuff.
Yep, better.
I mean, caught her off guard. But there's a bigger story here. I didn't know this to be. I heard this, and I don't want to. Please don't take this as what I'm just saying. What I heard. I don't know if this is gospel, but I heard some places south of the Mason-Dixon, they don't teach them that the Civil War is about slavery.
I mean, I believe I could see that.
They teach them it's about states' rights.
I could see that.
Yeah, and they like, yo, they trying to take away the rights.
I mean, so yeah.
They omit it. It's omitted.
Right, because even
with
Nikki Haley's answer, because when I first heard it, I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, it's about states' rights, individual rights, economic freedom, individual freedom. It's like, so all of those things are true.
Yeah.
She just never mentioned, she just didn't say the word slavery. And so it's kind of the same thing that you speak of. Like they'll talk about, you know, the states' rights, economic, all of these freedoms, which are very true, you know, but they don't want to say the word.
Yeah. So that's why you thought she was doing it on purpose.
Right.
Like she was trying to like, I'm going to say it without saying it.
That's what I thought.
I'm not going to give you what you want, kind of, yeah.
Because when I first, I'm like, you could have just said slave. I mean, I get what you're trying to say, I guess. Yeah. But then she was like, well, what do you want me to say? I'm like, oh, Lord.
That's how you knew that.
Now you lost me.
Yeah. She realized halfway through it what was happening, I think. And she was like, what do you want me to say about slavery? It happened. Bring it back. What is she, South Carolina? So she dealt with all that Confederate flag stuff and all that nonsense, man. She should know better. Come on, Nikki, do better. I don't think it's gonna affect where she's at, though. I think like I said, I do think now if they get Trump up out of there, I think she's definitely. We might be saying President Nikki. Like she's doing okay for herself. I don't know how that's gonna keep going. Right. You know what I mean? Or she gets a couple more moments like this, if it's it's still gonna be as popular. But I don't think that I think her base don't give a fuck about.
No, this will blow over.
Yeah, this is just something to make her look bad and whatever the case may be. Because she does have, I think, the ability to cross over. I think it's going to really come down to when they start hitting her with hardline questions about abortion.
Well, no, because she's
pro.
She's pro-life.
Is she pro-life?
Meaning like have the baby.
Yeah,
she's pro-life, but like they've already like I think that's why she is number 2 now, because when they came out with that ruling, was like 2 months ago, I forget the ruling, but it has something to do with abortion. And you know, she leveled with people. It's like, yes, I am pro-life, but also I understand people who are not. And I believe, when the Supreme Court ruled that states have the right to make that decision, and she was like, but I certainly support the states' rights to be able to choose, and for people who live in those states, town, whatever the case may be, who choose to have abortions, that is their right. And so she made it seem to where she give, my opinion is I am pro-life, but I am not against you for you know, being pro-abortion either. We can coexist. And this is what our voting thing is for. You know, if you want to, people who love to be pro-life, that's what they're going to vote, and so on and so forth. But
you seen the thing in Texas, a couple weeks ago, where the white lady, this white blonde lady, she
was in court?
Yeah. And they wouldn't let her get the abortion. And she just had to leave the state eventually. And she was going to wait. But what I think happened was her fetus passed away. And the longer it stayed there was going to lower her chances of, 1, maybe her life, but 2, ever having a kid again. And I think that's the perfect storm to show how, because everybody started they started getting
that shit was crazy, son.
Yeah, but crazy. You notice some of them Republican dudes, I don't know if you saw their statements, they was talking about it a little differently, because the idea of abortion is a black woman with 5 kids already that just, you know, she's just out here having sex. She's like, I just want to go get another abortion. That's what they want to paint the stereotype as. But when they get a white woman who's married with kids and wants to have a family that needs to have an abortion, or her health is going to be thrown off, that throws the whole thing on its head. Yeah. And now it's like, how you stand? And I'm sure we get a couple more that look like her. Is going to start putting them in some weird positions.
No, they lost the whole issue on abortion. Like, it's far gone. And that's what's on the ballot. That's one of the big things that's going to be on the ballot is abortion.
How you think Biden's chances looking?
Oh, man. I don't even want to think about it. But, I mean, until somebody else steps up, he's the fucking front runner. I mean,
what do you mean RFK at? I've heard he's in it, but I ain't see RFK in weeks.
Yeah, me neither. I haven't seen him in months.
I was like, is he running? Is that fake running? What's going on?
I don't know that. As we speak today, there's nobody to challenge Biden. Like, really, as we speak today. So, I don't know. The only hope that we could have is, like, for instance, like the year Obama won in 2008, he didn't step on the scene until like February, like late in the game. And so I'm just hoping maybe somebody come through in the next couple months. But
Obama was after Bush, right? Yeah.
What it do is your guy DJ Playboy, man. You know I'm holding it down for the Perfect Talk podcast, and I'm so grateful that y'all checked out this short clip. But if y'all like what you see, man, go check out the full episodes, hit that subscribe button, and hop in the comments, baby.